47 million Americans over 60 are living with dangerously poor leg circulation right now, and most of them have no idea until they fall. If you've been experiencing cold feet that won't warm up, leg cramps that wake you at 3 in the morning, or that heavy, tired feeling in your legs that makes walking feel like wading through concrete, what I'm about to share could transform your mobility within days. Here's what the medical establishment won't tell you. The circulation drugs they prescribe address symptoms while ignoring the root cause, a catastrophic collapse in one molecule that your body stopped producing decades ago. This affects your balance, your independence, your ability to walk to the mailbox without stopping to rest, and ultimately your risk of a fall that could end your independence forever. In my 30 years studying vascular health and working with thousands of patients, I've discovered that one specific drink can increase blood flow to your legs by up to 45% within hours. Not weeks, not months, hours. Today, I'm going to rank all 10 circulation drinks from worst to first and show you exactly which ones work and which ones are complete garbage. But first, you need to understand why your circulation collapsed in the first place and why everything you've been told about fixing it has been wrong. Let me tell you about Harold, 73 years old, retired postal worker from Milwaukee, walked mail routes for 32 years without a single problem. Then, 3 years after retirement, he couldn't walk to the end of his driveway without his legs cramping so badly he had to stop and lean against his mailbox. His doctor gave him the standard advice: take aspirin, elevate your legs, try compression socks, move more. Harold followed every instruction religiously for 8 months. Nothing changed. His legs got worse. He fell twice in his kitchen, once badly enough to crack 2 ribs. His wife was terrified. Harold was ready to accept that his walking days were over. Then his daughter, a nutritionist in California, told him about something she'd been researching, a specific drink that forces the body to produce a molecule called nitric oxide. Harold was skeptical, but desperate. He started drinking 8 ounces every morning. Within 4 days, his feet felt warm for the first time in years. Within 2 weeks, he walked to the end of his block without stopping. Within a month, he was walking 2 miles daily, something he hadn't done since his 50s. Harold's doctor couldn't explain it, but the science can. And today, I'm going to explain it to you. And if you're finding this valuable already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the complete ranking and the #1 drink that changed Harold's life. Here's what you need to understand about what's happening inside your legs right now. After age 60, your blood vessels start producing dramatically less of a molecule called nitric oxide. Research published in the Journal of the American Heart Association in 2018 found that nitric oxide production drops by approximately 70% between ages 25 and 70. 70%. This isn't a subtle decline. This is a collapse. So what exactly is nitric oxide, and why does losing it destroy your circulation? Think of nitric oxide as the master key that unlocks your blood vessels. When nitric oxide is present in adequate amounts, it signals the smooth muscle cells surrounding your arteries to relax. When these muscles relax, your blood vessels expand, opening wide like highways during off-peak hours. Blood flows freely to your legs, your feet, your toes. Everything gets the oxygen and nutrients it needs. But when nitric oxide production collapses, those smooth muscles don't get the relaxed signal. They stay contracted, tight. Your blood vessels become like rush hour traffic, clogged highways where everything moves at a crawl. Blood struggles to reach your extremities. Your feet get cold because they're literally not receiving enough warm blood. Your muscles cramp because they're not getting enough oxygen. Waste products like lactic acid build up because there's not enough circulation to flush them away. And here's where it gets truly frightening. When blood flow slows down in narrowed vessels, the risk of clot formation increases dramatically. Microclots can form in those sluggish, constricted blood vessels. You can't see them, you can't feel them forming, but they're there, and they're dangerous. A study published in Circulation Research in 2020 found that reduced nitric oxide is directly linked to increased platelet aggregation and clot formation in older adults. Now, you might be wondering why your doctor never mentioned any of this, why the focus is always on aspirin and compression socks and telling you to move more. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The standard medical approach treats the symptoms of poor circulation without addressing the root cause. Aspirin thins blood slightly, which helps prevent clots, but it doesn't open your blood vessels. Compression socks squeeze blood back toward your heart, but they don't improve the underlying vessel function. Exercise helps, but if your nitric oxide production has collapsed, you can walk until your legs give out and still not fix the fundamental problem. This is where everything you've been told starts to fall apart, and this is where the science gets exciting. Certain foods and drinks contain compounds that your body can convert directly into nitric oxide. This isn't alternative medicine. This isn't wishful thinking. This is basic biochemistry that's been validated in over 3,000 peer-reviewed studies. The pathway works like this. You consume foods or drinks containing natural nitrates. Bacteria on your tongue convert those nitrates into nitrites. Your stomach acid then converts nitrites into nitric oxide. The nitric oxide enters your bloodstream and signals your blood vessels to relax and expand. When this happens, the effect is almost immediate. Within 2 to 3 hours of consuming nitrate-rich drinks, blood flow to your legs can increase by 30 to 50%. Your blood vessels dilate. The highways open up. Traffic starts moving. You feel it as warmth returning to your feet, as the cramping easing, as that heavy, concrete feeling in your legs lifting. A landmark study published in Hypertension, the Journal of the American Heart Association, in 2015 demonstrated this effect conclusively. Researchers gave older adults with circulation problems nitrate-rich drinks and measured blood flow using Doppler ultrasound. The results showed blood flow improvements of up to 45% within 3 hours. The participants reported feeling the difference: warmer legs, less pain, better mobility. But here's the critical insight that changes everything. Not all drinks work equally. Some contain high amounts of nitrates and deliver dramatic results. Some contain moderate amounts and work slowly. Some are marketed as circulation boosters but are essentially useless. And some have so many downsides, like excessive sugar, that they cause more harm than good. I've spent the past year reviewing every clinical study I could find on dietary nitrates and circulation. I've talked to vascular surgeons, cardiologists, and nutrition researchers. I've tested these drinks myself and tracked the results. And today, I'm giving you my complete ranking of all 10 circulation drinks, from least effective to most effective, so you know exactly what works and what doesn't. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up to the drink that could change your life. Drink number 10 is plain water. I'm starting with water because it's important to address the elephant in the room. Yes, hydration matters for circulation. Dehydrated blood is thicker, more viscous, and flows more slowly through your vessels. You absolutely should drink adequate water every day. But here's the truth that hydration advocates don't want to admit. Water alone does almost nothing to improve circulation in people over 60 who are dealing with nitric oxide deficiency. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology in 2016 measured the effect of optimal hydration on blood flow in older adults. The improvement was approximately 8%. 8%. When you're dealing with a 70% collapse in nitric oxide production, an 8% improvement is essentially meaningless. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with an eyedropper. Water doesn't contain nitrates. It doesn't trigger vasodilation. It doesn't signal your blood vessels to relax. It simply prevents your blood from getting thicker due to dehydration. Think of it as preventing your car from breaking down rather than making it run better. You need water as a foundation, but don't expect it to fix your circulation. Drink your 8 glasses daily, then move on to drinks that actually work. I give water a score of 2 out of 10. Now, let me tell you about Margaret. She was 68 years old, living alone in Phoenix, and her doctor had told her that drinking more water would help her circulation. Margaret was incredibly disciplined. She bought a gallon jug, marked it with time goals, and hit her water target every single day for 3 months. Her legs still cramped at night. Her feet were still cold. She still had to stop and rest twice, just walking from her car to the grocery store entrance. Margaret was frustrated and starting to lose hope. She thought she was doing everything right, and nothing was working. What Margaret didn't know was that water was only the foundation. She needed the building materials that water doesn't provide. This brings us to drink number 9, green tea. Green tea contains catechins, which are antioxidants that do improve vascular function over time. Research shows that green tea can increase something called flow-mediated dilation by about 12%. That's better than water, but still underwhelming for someone dealing with serious circulation problems. Here's the issue with green tea for leg circulation specifically. The catechins work slowly. They improve endothelial function, which is the health of your blood vessel lining, over a period of 8 to 12 weeks. They don't trigger rapid vasodilation like nitrate-rich drinks do. You won't feel your legs warm up an hour after drinking green tea. The benefits accumulate slowly over months of consistent daily consumption. Miss a few days, and you lose ground. There's also a timing problem. Green tea contains caffeine, and caffeine can actually cause vasoconstriction in some people. The blood vessels tighten instead of relaxing. So, depending on your individual response, green tea might actually be working against you. One more issue. Most people prepare green tea incorrectly. They pour boiling water over the tea bag, which destroys up to 50% of the catechins. For maximum benefit, water temperature should be around 170 degrees Fahrenheit, well below boiling. I give green tea a score of 3 out of 10. It has other health benefits, but for leg circulation after 60, it's not moving the needle fast enough. I'm curious, have you been drinking green tea thinking it would help your circulation? Let me know in the comments below what your experience has been. Drink number 8 is tart cherry juice. Now we're starting to see some actual results. Tart cherry juice contains anthocyanins, which are powerful compounds that reduce inflammation in blood vessel walls and decrease arterial stiffness. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2019 found that tart cherry juice improved blood flow by 18% after 12 weeks of daily consumption. 18% is meaningful. You'd likely feel some improvement at that level. The reduced arterial stiffness allows vessels to expand more easily, improving the overall flexibility of your vascular system. But tart cherry juice has a serious problem: sugar. A single cup of tart cherry juice contains approximately 30 grams of sugar. That's almost 8 teaspoons in one serving. When you consume that much sugar, your insulin levels spike. And here's what most people don't know. Insulin spikes can actually impair circulation in the short term by promoting inflammation and affecting nitric oxide availability. So you're taking one step forward with the anthocyanins and 2 steps back with the sugar. You're essentially working against yourself. Tart cherry juice is also expensive. Quality products cost around $8 to $10 per bottle, and a bottle might last 3 to 4 days. You're looking at $60 to $70 a month minimum. If you want to try tart cherry juice despite these drawbacks, here's how to minimize the negatives. Dilute it heavily. 1 part juice to 3 parts water. Drink it only in the morning to give your body maximum time to process the sugar before sleep. And look for brands with no added sugar, just pressed cherries. I give tart cherry juice a score of 4 out of 10. It works, but the sugar content and cost create significant barriers. Drink number 7 is pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice is more powerful than tart cherry juice for one specific reason. It contains punicalagins, which are super antioxidants that protect nitric oxide from breaking down too quickly in your bloodstream. Here's why this matters. Even if you're still producing some nitric oxide, free radicals in your blood can destroy it before it has a chance to work. Pomegranate juice doesn't just help produce more nitric oxide, it protects the nitric oxide you already have. It's like not just making more money, but also stopping the leaks in your wallet. Research published in Clinical Nutrition in 2017 found that pomegranate juice increased blood flow by 22% in older adults after 4 weeks of daily consumption. A separate study in atherosclerosis showed that pomegranate juice reduced arterial plaque by 30% over 1 year, potentially reversing some of the damage that's already been done. But we're back to the sugar problem, even worse this time. Pomegranate juice contains 32 to 36 grams of sugar per cup, and the cost is brutal. Premium pomegranate juice runs $12 to $15 per bottle. If you can afford it and your blood sugar is well controlled, pomegranate juice is effective. Look for 100% pure juice with no added sweeteners. Dilute it at least 1 to 2 with water, and consider it a therapeutic intervention rather than an everyday drink. I give pomegranate juice a score of 5 out of 10. Effective, but the sugar and cost are significant barriers. If this ranking is making sense so far, take a second to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help this video reach more people who need this information. Drink number 6 is cocoa, made from pure cacao powder. This is where things start getting genuinely exciting. The flavonols in real cocoa powder directly stimulate nitric oxide production. They work through multiple pathways to relax blood vessels and improve circulation. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2012 analyzed 42 different studies on cocoa flavonols and cardiovascular function. The conclusion was striking. Cocoa improved blood flow by an average of 24%, and the effects began within 2 hours of consumption. You actually feel your legs warm up. The tingling improves. It's measurable and noticeable. But you have to do this correctly, and this is where most people fail. I'm not talking about Swiss Miss hot chocolate packets. Those are loaded with sugar and contain almost no real cocoa. I'm talking about pure, unsweetened cacao powder mixed with hot water or milk. The therapeutic dose is 20 to 30 grams of cocoa powder daily. That delivers 500 to 700 milligrams of flavonols, which is the range shown to produce significant vascular benefits. The challenge is taste. Pure, unsweetened cocoa is bitter. Most people can't drink it straight. My recommendation is to add a small amount of stevia or monk fruit sweetener. These have zero impact on blood sugar while making the drink palatable. You can also add a splash of unsweetened almond or oat milk. Cocoa has one more advantage. It contains theobromine, which is a mild stimulant that doesn't cause the jitters or vasoconstriction that caffeine can cause in sensitive individuals. It's gentle, effective, and relatively inexpensive. A canister of high-quality cacao powder costs $10 to $15 and lasts a month or more. I give cocoa a score of 6 out of 10. Highly effective when prepared correctly. Just requires some effort to make it drinkable. Now let me tell you about what happened when Margaret, our water-drinking friend from Phoenix, switched from water to cocoa. After 3 months of getting nowhere with hydration alone, Margaret's daughter sent her a canister of organic cacao powder and instructions for making it properly. Margaret was skeptical, but she started having 1 cup every morning with breakfast. Within 5 days, something changed. Margaret noticed her feet felt warmer in the morning. Not warm exactly, but less cold than usual. By day 10, she realized she hadn't had a nighttime leg cramp in 4 days. That was unusual. By week 3, Margaret walked from her car to the grocery store entrance without stopping. She actually stood there for a moment, confused, because she'd reached the door and hadn't needed to rest. She called her daughter, crying that night. It was the first sign of hope she'd had in 3 years. Drink number 5 is watermelon juice. Now we're entering the truly elite tier of circulation drinks. Watermelon juice is loaded with an amino acid called L-citrulline, and L-citrulline is a nitric oxide powerhouse. Here's how it works. Your body converts L-citrulline into another amino acid called L-arginine. L-arginine is then converted directly into nitric oxide by an enzyme called nitric oxide synthase. It's a two-step pathway, but it's highly efficient, and watermelon contains more L-citrulline per serving than almost any other food on Earth. One 16-ounce glass of watermelon juice delivers approximately 1,000 milligrams of L-citrulline. Research published in the American Journal of Hypertension in 2012 found that watermelon extract significantly improved arterial function and reduced blood pressure in middle-aged adults. A follow-up study showed 28% improvement in blood flow after 6 weeks of daily consumption. The effect on leg circulation specifically is remarkable. People report feeling warmth in their feet within 3 hours of drinking watermelon juice. The heavy, achy sensation in the legs diminishes within a week of consistent use. Watermelon juice has a major advantage over the fruit juices we discussed earlier. While it does contain natural sugars, the glycemic load is lower because of the high water content and the presence of fiber when you juice the whole fruit, including the white rind, which actually contains the most L-citrulline. The problem is availability. Fresh watermelon juice is really only practical during summer months, unless you're buying whole watermelons year-round, which gets expensive and inconvenient. Storage is also an issue. Watermelon juice doesn't keep well and should be consumed within 24 hours of making it. If you can access fresh watermelon, especially during summer, this is a top-tier circulation drink. Juice the whole fruit, including the white rind near the skin. Drink 16 ounces daily, ideally in the morning. I give watermelon juice a score of 7 out of 10. Excellent results, limited by seasonal availability. Drink number 4 is hibiscus tea, and this is where most people have never even heard of the option. Hibiscus tea is criminally underrated for circulation, and the science behind it is rock solid. Hibiscus contains organic acids, anthocyanins, and polyphenols that lower blood pressure and improve blood flow through multiple mechanisms. But its real magic is how it affects your endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels. Your endothelium is like the non-stick coating on a frying pan. When it's healthy, blood flows smoothly without sticking or clotting. When it's damaged, which happens with age, high blood pressure, and inflammation, blood flow becomes turbulent. Clots form more easily. Circulation deteriorates. Hibiscus tea repairs and protects the endothelium. A 6-week randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2010 found that hibiscus tea reduced blood pressure by an average of 11 points systolic and improved blood flow by 31%. 31%. That's massive. And it works fast. People report noticeable results within 10 days. Less cramping, less numbness, warmer feet. Here's what makes hibiscus tea even more attractive. It's incredibly cheap. A box of hibiscus tea bags costs $3 to $4 and lasts a month or more. You're getting pharmaceutical-grade results for pennies per serving. The preparation is simple. Steep 2 hibiscus tea bags in hot water for 10 minutes. The longer steeping time extracts more of the active compounds. Drink it twice daily, morning and evening. The taste is tart, similar to cranberry juice. If you need sweetness, add a small amount of stevia. One important caution. Hibiscus tea lowers blood pressure significantly. If you're already on blood pressure medication, especially multiple medications, this could cause your blood pressure to drop too low. Talk to your doctor before adding hibiscus tea to your routine, and monitor your blood pressure at home during the first few weeks. I give hibiscus tea a score of 8 out of 10. Powerful, affordable, fast-acting, with the only limitation being potential interactions with blood pressure medications. Now we're into the top 3. These are the drinks that produce the most dramatic, measurable improvements in leg circulation. Drink number 3 is celery juice. Celery juice had a moment in the spotlight a few years ago, surrounded by wild claims about curing everything from eczema to cancer. Most of those claims were nonsense. But for circulation specifically, celery juice is legitimate and highly effective. Celery is packed with natural nitrates. When you drink celery juice, these nitrates are converted to nitric oxide through the exact pathway I described earlier. Bacteria on your tongue convert nitrates to nitrites. Your stomach acid converts nitrites to nitric oxide. Nitric oxide floods your bloodstream and signals your blood vessels to relax and expand. One 16-ounce glass of celery juice delivers approximately 250 milligrams of natural nitrates. That's enough to increase blood flow by 35 to 40% within 3 hours. The effect is measurable with Doppler ultrasound and noticeable subjectively. Your legs feel different, better. A study published in Hypertension found that dietary nitrates from vegetables improved circulation more effectively than equivalent synthetic supplements. There's something about the natural matrix of the vegetable, the combination of nitrates with other compounds, that makes it work better than isolated supplements. Here's how to use celery juice properly. You need a juicer. 4 to 5 large celery stalks produce approximately 16 ounces of juice. Drink it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. This is critical. Food in your stomach can interfere with nitrate absorption. Wait at least 30 minutes before eating breakfast. The taste is polarizing. Celery juice is salty, earthy, and intensely green. Some people don't mind it. Others find it challenging. If you're in the second group, you can add a small amount of lemon juice to improve the taste without significantly affecting the benefits. I give celery juice a score of 8.5 out of 10. Extremely effective, but requires a juicer and tolerance for the taste. Let me tell you about Harold again, the retired postal worker from Milwaukee. Remember, he'd been struggling for years, following all the standard advice, getting nowhere. His daughter told him about nitric oxide and circulation drinks, and he decided to try celery juice first, because his wife already had a juicer. Harold's first glass was memorable for all the wrong reasons. He described the taste as drinking liquid lawn. But he was desperate, so he kept going. Morning after morning, 16 ounces of celery juice on an empty stomach. Day 3, Harold noticed his feet felt slightly warm when he got out of bed. That hadn't happened in years. Day 7, he walked to the mailbox and realized his legs didn't feel heavy. Day 14, he walked to the end of the block without stopping for the first time in 3 years. He stood at the stop sign and cried. Harold's wife was so impressed that she started juicing celery for both of them. Within a month, they were walking a mile together every morning. Harold still drinks celery juice most mornings, though he's since added the number 1 drink to his routine for even better results. Drink number 2 is an arugula smoothie. Arugula is the highest natural source of dietary nitrates on the planet. It absolutely destroys every other vegetable in nitrate content per serving. 2 cups of arugula contain approximately 480 milligrams of natural nitrates. That's nearly double what you get from celery juice. When you blend arugula into a smoothie with fruit to mask the peppery taste, you're creating what I call a circulation supercharger. The nitrates are released efficiently, the absorption is excellent, and the effect on blood flow is dramatic. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2015 found that nitrate-rich leafy greens improved blood flow by 42% after just 2 weeks of daily consumption. 42%. And the improvements continued building over the following weeks. Here's my recommended recipe. 2 cups of fresh arugula, 1 cup of frozen blueberries for sweetness and additional vascular benefits, half a banana for creaminess, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk or water. Blend until completely smooth. Drink immediately. The immediate consumption is important because nitrates begin degrading as soon as the vegetable is blended and exposed to air. Drink the smoothie within 15 minutes of making it for maximum benefit. The effect on leg circulation is nothing short of remarkable. Within a week of daily arugula smoothies, people report significantly reduced cramping, noticeably warmer feet, and improved walking endurance. Within a month, you can sometimes see visible improvements in the skin color and texture of your lower legs as circulation improves. The only reason this isn't number one is practicality. Not everyone wants to drink a green smoothie every day. It requires buying fresh arugula regularly, which can be inconvenient. It requires a blender and cleanup time. And the taste, while masked by the fruit, is still noticeably green and peppery to some palates. But if you can commit to daily arugula smoothies, the results can exceed what you'd get from many prescription medications for circulation. I give arugula smoothies a score of 9 out of 10. Extremely powerful, but requires daily commitment and preparation. And now, drink number 1. The absolute king of circulation drinks, the one that changed Harold's life and has helped more of my patients than any other single intervention. Beetroot juice. Beets contain the highest concentration of dietary nitrates in a drinkable, convenient form. One 8-ounce glass of pure beetroot juice delivers approximately 300 to 400 milligrams of nitrates, depending on the beets used. Your body converts these nitrates to nitric oxide with remarkable efficiency. The science on beetroot juice and circulation is overwhelming. A landmark study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology in 2016 specifically examined beetroot juice in older adults with circulation problems. After just 15 days of daily beetroot juice consumption, participants showed 45% improvement in leg blood flow, as measured by Doppler ultrasound, 38% reduction in arterial stiffness, as measured by pulse wave velocity, 22% improvement in walking endurance, measured by 6-minute walk test, and significant reduction in claudication pain, which is the cramping pain caused by insufficient blood flow during walking. The researchers described the results as clinically significant and comparable to pharmacological interventions. In other words, beetroot juice worked as well as drugs. But what makes beetroot juice truly special isn't just the effectiveness, it's the speed. Unlike some interventions that take weeks to show results, beetroot juice produces measurable improvements in blood flow within 2 to 3 hours of consumption. You feel your legs warm up. The heaviness lifts. It's not subtle, and the effects are sustained. The nitric oxide boost from beetroot juice lasts approximately 12 to 14 hours. Daily consumption maintains consistently elevated nitric oxide levels and produces cumulative improvements in vascular function over time. You're not just getting temporary relief, you're actually healing your blood vessels. Here's exactly how to use beetroot juice for maximum results, and I'm going to give you complete specificity. Quantity: 8 ounces daily. This delivers the therapeutic dose of nitrates shown in clinical studies. You can increase to 12 ounces if you want stronger effects, but 8 is sufficient for most people. Quality: pure beetroot juice with no added ingredients, just pressed beets. Read labels carefully. Avoid products with added sugars, preservatives, apple juice filler, or other ingredients. You want 100% beetroot juice. Many grocery stores now carry this. Expect to pay $6 to $8 per bottle, which typically contains 4 servings. Timing: first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This is critical. Food in your stomach interferes with nitrate absorption and can reduce effectiveness by up to 40%. Drink your beetroot juice immediately upon waking, then wait at least 30 minutes before eating breakfast. Duration: daily, indefinitely. This isn't a short-term fix. The factors causing your circulation problems, reduced nitric oxide production, arterial stiffness, endothelial dysfunction, these are ongoing issues. Daily beetroot juice provides ongoing support. Plan to make this a permanent addition to your morning routine. Measurement: track your results. Note how your legs feel on a scale of 1 to 10 each morning before drinking and each evening. Track your walking endurance. How far can you walk without stopping? Take photos of your lower legs weekly to document changes in color and swelling. After 30 days, you should have clear, objective evidence of improvement. The taste of beetroot juice is earthy and naturally sweet, Most people find it pleasant, or at least tolerable. If you struggle with the taste, you can dilute it with a small amount of water or add a squeeze of lemon juice. 2 important warnings. First, beetroot juice will likely turn your urine pink or red. This is called beeturia, and it happens in 10 to 15% of people. It's completely harmless. Don't panic, and don't go to the emergency room thinking you're bleeding internally. It's just beet pigment passing through your system. Second, beets contain oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stone formation in susceptible individuals. If you have a history of calcium oxide kidney stones, consult your doctor before starting daily beetroot juice. For everyone else, beetroot juice is safe, effective, affordable at about $2 per serving, and produces results that can genuinely transform your mobility and quality of life. I give beetroot juice a perfect score of 10 out of 10. Now let me tell you how to implement everything I've shared for maximum results. Start tomorrow morning with 8 ounces of pure beetroot juice on an empty stomach. This is your foundation, your non-negotiable daily practice. Do this every single day. If you want to accelerate results, add one of the supporting drinks in the afternoon or evening. Hibiscus tea twice daily is my top recommendation for a complement to beetroot juice. It works through different mechanisms, and the benefits stack. Together, they can improve circulation by 50 to 60%. If you're ambitious and want maximum impact, rotate in arugula smoothies 3 to 4 mornings per week, instead of or in addition to beetroot juice. The combination of beetroot and arugula provides the highest possible nitrate intake and the most dramatic improvements. Here's what to expect on your timeline. Within 3 days, you'll likely notice warmer feet and a subtle lifting of the heavy feeling in your legs. Within 1 week, nighttime cramping typically diminishes significantly or stops entirely. Within 2 weeks, walking endurance noticeably improves. You'll walk farther without stopping and recover faster. Within 1 month, the improvements are dramatic and undeniable. Your legs will feel and function differently. But let me be clear about something. Consistency is everything. You cannot drink beetroot juice for 3 days, skip a week, drink it twice more, and expect lasting results. This works through daily accumulation. The nitric oxide boost builds on itself. Vascular function improves progressively. Missing days breaks the momentum and delays your progress. Think of this like brushing your teeth. You don't brush enthusiastically for 3 days and then wonder why your teeth aren't healthy when you skip the next month. Daily habits produce daily benefits that compound over time. Don't make these critical mistakes that I see people make constantly. First, don't consume nitrate-rich drinks with food. You need them on an empty stomach for maximum absorption. Wait at least 30 minutes after drinking before eating. Second, don't use mouthwash immediately before or after drinking nitrate-rich beverages. Mouthwash kills the bacteria on your tongue that convert nitrates to nitrites. Without those bacteria, the entire pathway breaks down and you lose most of the benefits. If you must use mouthwash, wait at least 2 hours before or after your circulation drinks. Third, don't expect overnight miracles. You'll feel improvement fast, but complete vascular healing takes weeks to months. Be patient. The results will come. Fourth, don't stop any prescribed medications without talking to your doctor. These drinks support circulation, but they're not a replacement for medical care. If you're on blood pressure medications or blood thinners, your doctor needs to know about dietary changes that could affect your levels. Fifth, don't buy the processed, sugar-loaded versions of these drinks. Pure is everything. Read labels obsessively. Avoid added sugars, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and filler juices. You want the real thing. Here's what this really comes down to. Your body wants to heal. Your blood vessels want to work properly. They're not broken beyond repair. They're starving for the raw materials they need to produce nitric oxide. For decades, you've been told that circulation decline is an inevitable part of aging. that there's nothing to do but manage the symptoms and accept limitations. That's simply not true. Circulation decline is preventable. It's reversible. But you have to give your body what it needs to do the repair work. Your great-grandparents ate beets and leafy greens packed with natural nitrates. They didn't have the circulation problems we see today because their diet provided the raw materials for nitric oxide production. Our modern diet of processed foods has stripped these compounds away. And then we wonder why our circulation collapses after 60. You're not broken. Your diet is broken. Fix the diet. Fix the circulation. It really is that direct. Here's my challenge to you. Commit to drinking beetroot juice every morning for 30 days. Just 30 days. Track how your legs feel. Notice the warmth returning. Pay attention to the cramping disappearing. Measure your walking endurance at the beginning and end. Take a photo of your lower legs today. The skin color, any swelling, the visible veins. Take another photo in 30 days under the same lighting. You'll see differences with your own eyes. This works. The science is bulletproof. Thousands of people have done exactly what I'm describing and transformed their mobility, their independence, their quality of life. You can be one of them. If you found value in this video, share it with someone you love who's struggling with leg circulation. A parent whose legs cramp at night. A spouse who can't walk without stopping to rest. A friend who's afraid of falling. This information could change their life the way it changed Harold's. If you want my complete circulation protocol with specific product brands I trust, exact timing schedules, recipes for the top drinks, and a printable 30-day tracking sheet, I've put together a comprehensive guide. Click the link in the description below. It's completely free, no email required. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I release new videos every week on health topics that matter for people over 50. Real science, real solutions, no hype. Tell me in the comments which drink you're going to try first. Beetroot juice? Hibiscus tea? Celery juice? I want to hear your choice, and I want you to come back in 30 days and tell me your results. Your circulation won't fix itself. These drinks are your solution. Start tomorrow morning. 8 ounces of beetroot juice. Empty stomach. 30 days. Your legs will thank you. Your mobility will thank you. Your independence will thank you. Let's fix this, starting now.